When darkness swallows the refuge of the Shadowhunters, only courage and sacrifice can rekindle hope. This is the final chapter of a saga forged in heavenly fire. Hello Shadowhunters, welcome to Alfred's Wisdom. Today we conclude our journey with City of Heavenly Fire, the final volume of the Mortal Instruments. Get ready to relive the 6 pivotal moments of this epic finale, a tale woven with tragedy, redemption, and courage beyond human limits. And on a frigid December night, the Los Angeles Institute rests under the Pacific winds. In the training chambers, Emma Carstairs hones her aim alongside the Blackthorn siblings, while the clang of blades and the whisper of steelies keep rhythm with the distant sea. Suddenly, a deafening blast shatters the silence. The ceiling groans, splintering, as blue flames lick the walls, exploding glass into fiery sparks. Then emerge the shadowy figures of corrupted Shadowhunters, advancing in relentless formation. At the chaos's epicenter, Sebastian Morgenstern raises the infernal cup, its runes pulsing with darkness, and roars, "Drink from my cup!" With a cruel gesture, he forces Katarina Blackthorn to her knees, her features twisted in agony as she swallows the demonic elixir. Emma feels the ground tremble beneath her, each heartbeat hammering her resolve. In one fluid motion, she draws her bow and fires an arrow straight through Sebastian's chest. He smiles, unfazed, the blade lodged uselessly in his armor. When all seems lost, Julian summons their last hope. A silvery portal tears through the air with a supernatural roar. "Now, Emma! Tavi! Drew!" he screams. Emma grabs Tavi and Drew, and the 4 leap into the ethereal rift, a final act of faith. Behind them, the ground erupts, walls collapse into fire and rubble, and the portal seals shut in a blinding flash. The Institute, once a sanctuary, lies consumed in ash and ruin, absolute silence. From this moment on, nothing will ever be the same. Emma and Julian emerge from the silver mist of Idris's gardens, the world blurred by dew that glitters like shards of stars. Emma raises Cortana with trembling hands, the ancient blade already stained with demon dust, while Julian kneels, his gaze hollow. Their father lies lifeless, and Mark, their brother, has been offered to the infernal cup. Under moss-covered stone arches, the gathering of survivors grows. Clary and Jace arrive on gusts of cold wind, their clothes worn from their long journey through portals. Isabel and Alec exchange a weighted silence, their eyes reflecting the fear of losing yet another family. Behind them, Downworlders assemble, werewolves with bristled fur, pale vampires, and warlocks in billowing robes, their hearts heavy as they study each face. Jocelyn Frey, her features etched with pain and resolve, stands before a rough-hewn table, strewn with a map. Red and black marks pinpoint shattered institutes across the world. In a steely voice, she declares, "Only united can we prevail." In a symbolic gesture, Clary carves protective runes onto each ally's wrist. Jace lays seraph blades around the skull of a fallen demon, a war offering. The sacred weapons hum with renewed energy, glowing under Idris's moon, and every warrior raises their blade in silent oath. In this alliance forged by tragedy, Nephilim and Downworlders seal their pact of courage, for only together can they face the fury of Sebastian Morgenstern. As Idris raises shimmering runic barriers around its walls, Sebastian's war spreads like a plague across the world. At the Praetor Lupus, beneath a blood-stained moon, Maya Roberts stands defiant against Rufus Hastings. Claws clash, wolves howl like thunder, and in a baptism of blood, she overthrows the old Alpha and proclaims herself leader, her pack bowing to her newly forged strength. In New York, night becomes a living nightmare. In darkened vampires, among them Lily and Zeke, once Simon's allies, slither from alleyway shadows, sinking fangs into the innocent. The Lightwood Institute is overrun by lightning strikes. Vampires gnaw through stone walls and shred protective sigils with predatory grins. Simon, caught off guard, is wounded by darkness-rotted fangs and dragged beyond the gates, imprisoned like a trophy of evil. Every street, every alley, transforms into an invisible battlefield. The infernal cup's blue flame dance on rooftops, steelies slash through the air, explode like macabre fireworks, and corrupted Shadowhunters' bodies pile in deathly silence. The dread of no safe place haunts the city. Sebastian's terror spares neither fortresses nor sanctuaries. As long as he lives, no ground will be safe from the soul-devouring demonic mist. Sebastian lays his trap under the guise of a truce in Idris. Luke, Jocelyn, Magnus, and Raphael cross the conclave hall, surrendering their weapons in good faith. But in an instant, the ground trembles, runes shatter, they vanish, swallowed by a crimson portal that snaps shut with a crack of bones. The abyss consumes them, leaving only the echo of their screams. The news explodes through Alicante's conclave like gunpowder. 4 great downworld leaders are trapped in Edom, Sebastian's inverted realm where darkness reigns and the impossible becomes real. A whisper of despair winds through marble corridors. There is no conventional rescue. Clary rallies her band of desperate warriors, Jace at her side, Isabel gripping her dagger, Simon clutching runic symbols, and Alec with fists clenched in silent fury. They march through stone corridors bathed in shadow, each footstep a war drum's beat. No matter what we face inside, we go together, Clary declares, carving Cortana through the air, the blade refracting torchlight. As they cross the demonic portal, Edom unfolds, a world of black pillars burning with purple flames, blood-red clouds swirling like whirlwinds of agony. Tempting illusions seize their hearts. Clary sees herself in a flawless wedding gown before an altar of ethereal flowers. Simon beholds Isabel smiling beside him, alive and immortal. Alec at last receives Magnus's blessing, crowned in triumph. But the fantasies dissolve like mist at their touch. The ground splits, revealing demonic serpents writhing between them, and endarkened warriors rise from shadows, blades trembling with bloodlust. A deep howl echoes through unseen canyons, chilling their skin. The circle tightens, Cortana raised, ready to face Edom's true horror. For here, nothing is deadlier than illusion. In the heart of Edom's twisted stone hall, the air vibrates like metal scorched in hellfire. Purple flames lick black columns, casting shadows that dance on charred walls. At the center, atop an altar of bones and profane runes, Sebastian Morgenstern stands triumphant, his hollow eyes reflecting chaos. Clary steps forward, kneeling in feigned submission, her chest pounding in frantic rhythm. Sebastian leans down, his rasping smile carving across pale lips. "Have you come to kneel at my feet, sister?" In that instant, Clary surges upward, Cortana blazing with pure light. The blade ignites in heavenly fire, shattering the shadows. "Clary," voice resonant, "by the light that lives within us." With a single upward strike, Cortana pierces Sebastian's back. He gasps, the demon within him howling in agony, echoing through the halls like the last thunder of a dying world. The infernal cup clatters to the ground, cracked, and with a final snap, explodes, releasing a blue shockwave that dissolves every endarkened into glittering ash. The walls tremble, fissures tear the ceiling, and a rain of starry fragments falls upon the blackened floor. When the echoes of destruction fade, Magnus raises his hands and summons Asmodeus, the demonic father who once refused to save his own son. Under a dark pact, Asmodeus rescues the heroes but demands the ultimate price. Magnus's immortality unravels in a veil of spectral light. Magnus collapses to his knees, mortal for the first time in centuries. Simon, heart trembling between relief and grief, steps forward. In a gesture of friendship, louder than any spell, he offers his own eternal years in silent sacrifice, moving even Asmodeus to his core. With a supernatural crack, the portal opens, and in a flash, the group awakens on the dew-kissed grass of Alicante. The sound of morning birds feels almost foreign after the clamor of demonic battles. Clary sprints to Jace, and they cling to each other in an embrace that dissolves months of fear and tears. Isabel falls to her knees, weeping with relief, while Alec pulls Magnus into a protective hold, hands shaking with gratitude. Silently, they lift their eyes to Idris's sky, where white clouds push aside the last shadows of Edom. It was unity, forged like sword and shield, spell and blade, and the sacrifice of pure hearts that secured this victory. And now at dawn's breaking, redemption blooms from the ashes, bearing hope for a world reborn. Months have passed since the flames of Edom faded, and Idris now blooms under the angel's light. Gardens once draped in mourning now sprout silver flowers, and walls carved with protective runes gleam in the morning sun. In New York, Simon takes the stage as frontman for the Mortal Instruments, his battle-scarred bass transformed into vibrant chords. The crowd thrills with every riff, and he smiles. Music heals wounds even runes cannot reach. Isabel and Alec, fingers interlaced, stroll sunlit streets, exchanging knowing glances as they renew their silent vows of partnership. At the heart of Idris, Clary and Jace climb to an ancient stone terrace, where beneath a veil of stars, they trade whispers of eternal promises. He cradles her hand with redoubled tenderness. She rests her head on his shoulder, feeling the warmth the heavenly fire left in their veins. "This is our new beginning," Clary murmurs. "Together, always," Jace replies. And so concludes City of Heavenly Fire, an ode to sacrifice, when hearts give themselves beyond fear, to love that shatters every barrier, and to fire that, instead of consuming, refines the soul for eternity. If you enjoyed this epic journey, smash that like button, tell us in the comments which moment was your favorite, and subscribe to Alfred's Wisdom for more reviews and cinematic breakdowns. Until the next adventure.